All right. You know what time it is? I know what time it is. Coach, do you know what time it is?
It's time for real talk.
It's time for some real talk. All right. So we are back. It has been a couple Sundays and we have returned and we came up with a very apt theme with the shenanigans going on in local households. Isn't that right, Coach?
Yeah, sadly to say, it's my household again. I think we talked about having sick kids last time because my kids started being sick 2 Sundays ago when we recorded our last episode, and they just got better this week. So
Yeah.
yeah, we've been dealing with that a lot, myself included. So yeah, we're talking through how to manage your fitness while you're sick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're calling this sicko mode because we want all the cool kids to think we're cool, even though I've never been cool a day in my life.
We're cool. Come on.
I fake it till I make it. What can I say? All right. So
I
yes.
think
So
that's
we
what we
figured,
all do.
well, there's that, right? Yeah, there is that. So yes, we figured we would go ahead and tackle this because we are entering into the season as it is. And so let's go ahead and cover our bases to make sure that if and or when illness strikes your household, all right, we'll knock on all the wooden things, right? All the superstitions need to be superstized. All right. Yep. So just in case, all right, let's talk about what we got to do to make sure we're still taking advantage of each day, right? So the number one thing, all right, starting off our list is lower your expectations. Hey, there's a concept, right? All right, there's no guilt for recovery. And we've definitely talked about this in former episodes, right? Is just
We
recovery
did
is
talk
part,
about it in the last one. Yep.
this is what I'm saying. Like recovery is
Yep.
part of the overall puzzle. All right. We can't be, hating on puzzle pieces. It's all about the full picture. So basically look at it as this: the body has only so much energy to use. It's using a whole lot of it to fight whatever is going on in here. Let it. Don't fight it, right? Like let your body do the fighting. You just sit back, take it as your excuse to rest that you've needed all this time. All right. And just, yeah, let the body just go straight up recovery mode without any feelings of guilt along the way.
Yep. And I mean, so I think a lot of people worry about that during the course of being sick, in that, like, oh, hold up. Like, if I'm sick for a week, how much fitness am I going to lose in that week? Like, maybe you've been busting your butt at the gym, or you've just started this new program that you're super into and you're like already seeing results and you're loving it and you're loving how you're feeling. And then boom, you're knocked out with a stomach bug. Like, how quickly is that fitness really going to go away, Coach Rob?
Yeah, so there's obviously a bunch of research done in this topic, so there's going to be a range of answers. But the way that I kind of think about it is like a 10 to 14 day window. And that's very much having worked with athletes in the past. All right. So, we're looking at their competition schedule and going, okay, we have this window where we definitely don't want to lose these gains. We want you to recover. Obviously, playing into this detriment is not the way to success. All right. So we need to just kind of, again, accept the expectations are going to be lower, but also
Yeah.
remember, like, it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be over the course of a weekend. You're not going to go from hero to zero, right? Bottom line is you got a window of time, but try to recover as quick as possible. Not only for that, but just I'm pretty sure you want to not feel sick. I don't know. This, you know what they say
Yeah,
about assuming, but this feels like a safe one, right? It's just
it
I'm
is.
assuming you probably don't want to feel sick. So just use that as motivation of just, okay, what can I still do each day to potentially, exact, like basically speed up the healing process of the body, whatever you're going through. Some things are going to have a shorter timetable, some longer. But if you remember, yeah, it's going to be at least a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks before you're really seeing a loss in gains. Just don't let that, bear down on the guilty factor.
Yeah, no, that's encouraging, but it also, I think is something that is a real fear for a lot of people. So thanks for addressing that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, hey, that's the thing. If you're that motivated, like that's awesome. How about just pat yourself on the back that you care? Like,
Yeah,
let's just go with the
right?
simplicity of it. You want to not lose on all the gains that you've made, as small or as large as they may have been. Cool. Well, let's get into some things you can do to help the process, right? All right. So action item number
Sure.
one, but number two on our list, hydrate like it's your job. All right. Drown that sucker out is literally what I wrote down in my notes, right? It's just
Yeah.
drown it out. All right, water is going to help with the recovery process, especially if you're congested. You want to add more liquid to the process so that you're less so. All right, Obviously, the important like little asterisk or star I put by this is please make sure you're evacuating your bladder. All right. The
That means
only
peeing.
yeah, go pee. Do number one, whatever you use in your house, right? Bottom line is the only risk with overconsumption of water is the fact that yeah, you might be leaving yourself in a bit of a deficit when it comes to electrolyte balance, sodium balance, and things we talked about like hyponatremia in former episodes. So just make sure you do that part too.
Right. And I think, something that I personally struggle with sometimes when I'm sick is like straight up water does not taste good to me. And I mean, on any given day, so I have a child poking me. I apologize.
We're good. We're good. We're
gonna
rocking this.
ignore the child until the child gets the message. So for me, sometimes water is just like, oh, I can't down another bottle of water. And I think we've talked about a little bit in the past in terms of like what maybe healthy hydration looks like, right? And that doesn't mean it's just water, right? It could be a number of things. It could be tea, coffee, juices. Like, do you have any other recommendations for other ways to hydrate that's not just like your giant gallon water with your cheeky marks on it during the course of the day?
Exactly, right. And I think we've talked about a lot, just that happy medium, right? So keep water bottle around. All right. I'm never going to encourage anyone to just ditch their water bottle. Plain old water, as boring as it might be, is, well, kind of our elixir of life. So we definitely want to keep that in arm's reach. But yeah, I'm with you. There's plenty of options on the grocery store shelves. So take advantage. You got your teas, you got your coffees, black coffee specifically, right? I always like to say it's just hot water and beans. All right. Natural juices without extra sugar added is a good go-to. And then of course, just the simple ones like hot water with lemon, I think is another good one. Just if you need a little bit of lemon and honey or something to flavor out your water. All right, a little sprinkle here, a little dollop there. Like, yeah, again, like that 80-20 thing we've talked about in the past. You're not ruining everything as long as you're not, you know, basically like drinking a bottle of honey, just throwing it back. Like that's not the strategy I would go with. Like maybe just
those
in the
spoonfuls
hot
of honey
water.
in our household count as like a lozenge, basically.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite home remedies. But what
So a
about like people
spoonful,
that are
not a
right,
bottle.
a guzzle? Yeah. So what about folks who are like really depleted? Say you've got a bug, you can't keep anything down. When are like the Gatorade, the Powerade, the like Pedialyte, when do those come into play for hydration?
Yeah, I think what we're looking at there is very much the electrolyte side of things, right? If you're sweating out your salts, right, and you need to replenish them. So they'll do some help in the recovery process. If you're on that dehydrated side where you think that your electrolyte balance is low, then yeah, add in some Gatorade powder to your water. Again, like I'm not saying go out and drink just like a straight old bottle of Gatorade. I'm a big fan of watering it down myself or just buying the powder and just adding just a little bit versus a full serving, right? And that way you can get that happy medium, right? You're getting some extra flavor, something a little bit sweeter on the palate, but at the same time, it's not a ton of electrolytes and sugar that might be throwing off the overall balance of what we're really looking at, which is hydrating with water.
Sure. And like sugar is not your friend while you're sick either. So minimizing that is going to be the key. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Again, little doses, make yourself feel better. You're not in a happy place. All right. So, hey, a little bit of sugar here and there for some joy is one thing, but yeah, I would make sure that the diet is not consisting primarily of that ingredient. I think that would be a winning strategy.
Agreed.
Speaking of winning strategies,
yeah.
Our segues, they are so smooth. All right. Next thing is get outside. All right. If you can, get outside, but with the little caveat, just take it easy. All right. Again, go back to number one. Our expectations are lowered. If you're normally up here, we're bringing it down to here because getting outside is just going to have so many great benefits with it. We just don't need to necessarily treat it like a high intensity workout. So think of it as fresh air. Hopefully some sunshine. We got some rain clouds on this side of the country today. But hey, we need some rain. All right, rain is good. Hydrating the planet. I'm all for that. All right. But yeah, if we're thinking about just a little bit of mental health outlook and attitude, yeah, get outside, get some fresh air, get some vitamin D. All right. And yeah, maybe just go for a walk. You got kiddos, who also might not be feeling great. yeah, walk them. They'll be a little extra tired when you get home, which I'm sure is never a bad thing, right, moms of the world?
Uh, true that. We kind of have a policy of when we're sick. Like I think a lot of moms, especially, and I think adults too, turn to a lot of like couch time and screen time, or like reading, or something that's like horizontally based when you're feeling sick.
Sure.
And I am 100% a proponent of cuddles with sick kiddos. Like nothing like, as a mom, the worst thing in the world is having a sick kid, but also the best thing in the world is having a kid that wants to be cuddled. So, there's a win-win situation there in a sense, but we do have a pretty like strict policy of like balancing out that couch snuggle time with like, let's go outside for just a little bit. And it doesn't even have to be a walk. It doesn't have to be a bike ride or a scooter session. It might just be, let's sit in the driveway and color with chalk for a little bit. Just bring the energy down, but also like get that passive vitamin D, in there too, because it really does make a world of difference from a mental state. I think for our family especially, but I know I feel 1,000 times better when I'm outside, which is why our workouts are based outside for Hustle and Flow, but also just because, that connection with nature is, look at any study about humans outdoors, you're just going to feel better afterwards too. So
absolutely. And yeah, I mean, it's really as simple as that, right? It's just get out there and be one, just enjoy some fresh outside nature. We've talked about meditation in the past. Obviously, just some breathing focus is never a bad idea.
A little
I love
like
the sidewalk
yoga,
chalk.
stretching.
Yeah, some stretching
Totally.
stuff. Maybe the dog wants to run around and you just want to stand still and throw a ball. Like cool, like everybody wins, right? Like bottom line is outdoor time is going to have so many benefits that, again, if you can just get rid of the excuses, keep the expectations low, and just vibe with it, I think it's going to be a great life choice.
Absolutely. Sorry, we're getting all the distractions on my end today. I got dogs barking in the background. Speaking of the dogs, they must have heard me talking about fetch. So I
exactly see, that's the thing. That's totally on me. Absolutely. All good. All righty. Well, we'll keep it rolling because we're doing well on time. We're doing really well on time today. We're just flowing, coach. So let's move on to number 4. All right. If you have to head out into public, all right. Hey, you're a parent or you're an adult in the real world. Things got to get done. Groceries got to be shopped. Things got to be, fulfilled. Well, if you got to go out, just throw out a mask, just keep it super simple. Right. Teamwork makes the dream work. We're focusing on empathy here. Whatever you got, all right. And obviously, there's that kind of caveat, and I told Coach Natalie, as we bring up this topic today, I want to make sure we cover the fact that like masking for whatever, all right. Like it doesn't have to necessarily be like a COVID concern, all right. Whether it's a cold or the flu,
we're gonna get canceled, Rob.
Whatever. We deserve to be canceled by now already. It's fine. All right, we're just ruining the fitness industry from the inside out, giving away all the secrets. So they're gonna come for us one day. All right, but here's what I'm getting at. Right, is the bottom line is if you're feeling under the weather, I think the last thing you would want is if you were in a public space and you weren't feeling under the weather, you saw somebody hacking their lungs out in your general direction, you'd probably be like, oh, it'd be kind of really nice if that weren't happening, right? And all I'm saying is just flip it, right? If you're feeling under the weather, hey, you don't want to be the person hacking on other people. You don't want to be that guy, right? I've never wanted to be that guy. I don't think you want to be that gal, coach. So yeah, bottom line is just play your part in this wonderful thing we call society. Cover your face holes. All right. And if anything, it's going to keep you from picking up any extra germs, and you're going to keep, from spreading your germs to other people around you.
It's so funny that we have to even have this conversation anymore, because I think it used to be like we just stayed home, like I think people have really pushed the envelope in the current like climate of like, oh, but I have to go out because, even though I'm sick. And I think in yesteryears, we would have just like not gone anywhere. But right. So much has to be done, right? But I just want to like kind of bring this full circle back to sort of like the whole fitness concept that we're sort of like, we base most of our platform on here, that this is a great time. And this kind of ties back into number 1, right? Like if you are sick but still feeling good enough to move your body, this isn't the time to head back to like your 24-hour fitness, your Planet Fitness or whatever. This is your time to pull out, dust off your home workout from the COVID era, right? Or find a new app, or reach out to Coach Rob. Check out my YouTube channel. Like, we have so many workouts online. You have so many workouts available to you at the tips of your fingers on the World Wide Web. Write your own workout. There's so many fun ways to like take a deck of cards and pick a number, and that's how many squats you do or push-ups or whatever.
Right.
Get creative at home. This isn't the time to like renew your gym membership, right? When you're feeling down and out. So get into the swing of things at home. And, maybe this is the start of your like home fitness journey too. Maybe you're like, oh, I just don't feel good anymore. I keep getting sick all the time. Maybe I need to work on my wellness, on a deeper level too. This is a great jump off point to focus on using what you've got around your house, which we have a bunch of episodes on too, to be fit in your own home.
Exactly. Right. And that's the thing, evolution is a beautiful thing, especially if you take advantage of it. And the bottom line is, with so many things needing to be at home due to the pandemic, well, we have a lot of really efficient options at this point because, well, they're tried and true, having withstood a pandemic. I mean, it's really that simple, right? It's just gyms are closed down, but people still need to stay in shape. I know that my entire business model shifted so that I could make sure that all of my clientele were, essentially just set up and ready to go wherever they were, most likely at home. If not at home, maybe outside in the park, and that's pretty much, what you need to rely on now is just, hey, if you got your own gear, if you have your own space, you're 80+% of the way there, right?
Sure.
And so the bottom line is again, for you to be reliant on a location or certain equipment being available at certain times, I mean, you're literally blocking yourself off when it comes to basically like more access points, right? Like, what if you go to the gym and you get there and there's a line for the one squat rack? It's like, oh, cool. Like, now you just wasted an hour versus if you were slowly to put money aside, not spend that money on your gym membership, for instance, and use it towards, I don't know, a squat rack, or coming up with another solution to do resisted exercise at home. There are a ton of options. We've talked about it in former episodes. I'm sure we'll cover more in the future. Bottom line is creativity can be your friend. And oh yeah, there's coaches in the world who literally specialize in this thing. And some of those coaches literally helped people for years get through a pandemic with efficient exercise. I'm just saying, oh, look, oh, my hands are doing something weird. Sorry about that. But the bottom line is yes, take advantage of the evolution that is the fitness industry. All right. You don't need to show up, pay your 40, 50, 60, $100 a month just to get in the building anymore, right? You can start equipping yourself and just giving yourself more opportunities for success without having to commute to and from a location that you don't call home.
I think it's noteworthy to say too that I felt like in the last couple of years there's been sort of a shortage of supply because the demand has risen for home fitness. But I've just recently shopped for some, we call them toys, for our group, and things are in stock right now too. I mean, Veterans Day is coming up, Black Friday is coming up, all the holidays, right? So just thinking about like strategically using those like sales and things like too, Amazon Prime, like all the things, like now is the time to start stocking up. If you're thinking about that going into the cold weather months, roll out your yoga mat in the corner of your room or your basement or your garage, and it's not extremely expensive to, like Rob said, you can kind of like cash in that gym membership or maybe cash in that cup of coffee you get out for a month or so and have a little nest egg set aside for some gym equipment that will take you a long way, like look for that multi-purpose stuff you can use creatively in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah. And if you're watching this now and you need some ideas as to like what I do to set up, like I know Coach was just talking about hers a little bit. Our entire episode last time was going through form check in my home studio. Like you can see, I don't have a ton of equipment, but I very much feel like I am an in shape individual with the options that I have. You know, I don't need a full weight room in order for me to provide myself an efficient resistance program. I just don't. And I haven't in the now 4 years. I've been in New Jersey now for 4 years, which is crazy. It kind of blows my mind. I left DC 4 years ago this month. But yeah, I've been now on my own. And guess what? I think I can make the argument I am in better physical shape now than I was when I left DC, and I'm 4 years older and have no gym access. So take with that what you will, take from that what you will. But yeah, that's what I'm getting at. And yeah, like Coach was saying, in terms of the availability, the supply chain issues and everything we were running into are pretty much figured out. So yeah, I had a lot of clients who were looking for dumbbells or pull-up bars or TRXs, and just yeah, they just weren't available. And now I haven't heard anyone tell me there's been any issues. So I am vastly under the impression.
check, check Craigslist and Facebook for
You beat me to
people
it. Oh,
who have
good.
gotten tired of theirs. Yeah.
Good, you beat me to it. I was gonna say, please don't forget about secondhand market when it comes to fitness equipment. All right, this isn't like wearing
So
somebody
much of
else's
mine.
underwear.
Yeah.
All right, this is just, especially when it comes to like barbells, dumbbells, all the heavy metal stuff. Like people just
Bosu
forget to
balls,
use
all
it,
the
and it just
things.
sits in a
Yeah.
corner. But it doesn't get gross or anything. Like you dust it off, maybe a little bit of rust here or there that you can, steel wool out a little bit, and you got yourself literally like a fresh dumbbell or a fresh barbell or yeah, what have you. I mean, the TRX I've had for over a decade. So if I were to sell it, the next person would have a working TRX. You know what I mean? Like, and the list goes on. The only
Yeah.
thing I would again put a little asterisk on as I'm thinking it through would be like bands, just little nicks and things and bands. Those will break. Those will break. Those will snap. I've actually witnessed some, not really horror stories, but what can go wrong if a band breaks at the wrong time? Like, yeah, a person winds up in a lot of pain. Like, that's the answer to that question. So, bottom line is, yeah, again, safety first. All right. But yes, when considering your home gym setup, there's so many options either through the supply chain. If you demand to go new school, you can go secondhand, which is super convenient. And then, of course, the last option, never forget creativity, right? Fill a bag with books and you got yourself a kettlebell. All right, it's that simple. So keep it simple. All right, ready to wrap it up here, Coach?
Yeah, we rabbit holed a bit there. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna take a sip. It's because we have so much time. I just felt like I could go on a good rant there.
And
Okay,
so
we're good.
much to say.
We're good. We're good. All right. So number 5 to wrap it up. All right. As your energy comes back to normal, all right, get right back into whatever your normal routine was in your fitness world and otherwise. All right. ASAP. Right. First things first, body weight exercise would be my go-to. All right. Just start getting range of motion back, full range of motion. We've talked about that in multiple videos at this point. Again, last time our episode was all on form checks. So that'd be a really good place to start. And then slowly start adding intensity. Basically, longer bouts of exercise with shorter rest, is a good way of thinking of it. And then, of course, adding resistance. All right. You don't need it at first, but eventually you're going to be getting back to the normal swing of things. So you're going to need to get back to the normal challenge of things. All right. And guess what? Are you a human being? Did you do too much too soon? Oh, no. Guess what? Don't feel bad. Our expectations are lowered. Just take a step back, give it a day or two, try it up again. All right. Bottom line is, hey, be proud of yourself for giving it that effort, but you might find that it's just, yeah, you're not ready for it, and that's okay. Just take a step back, try again later.
I recently just had this happen to me. So I just got back from teaching a 50-minute, class at my usual kind of like level and energy and weights and everything. I felt great today. Rewind, today's a Sunday. Rewind to Thursday. I was like, wow, got that class coming up on Sunday. I got to teach. I better get back on my game because I haven't worked out in like a week and a half. And I thought I was going to die on Thursday. I rode my stationary bike for like 20 minutes, tried to do some body weight exercises. And I was like, I can't even do a body weight squat right now. This is going to be so bad. And luckily I had a really encouraging phone call with Coach Rob later in the day. All was well. He reminded me, pat on new back for even getting out to your garage and doing that. Because while he was not in my shoes, I'm sure he's been in my shoes before,
Oh yeah.
of just like not feeling well. And like 3 days later, I feel great. So it's just a matter of, yeah, like trial and error, a little like humble pie, right? A little slice, but yeah, don't give up, because it's not worth the mental stress of beating yourself over to then have to dig yourself out of that hole to get back on the horse. So yeah,
Exactly.
just from me to you, don't give up.
Yeah. And my clients have heard this from me ad nauseum, but it's easiest to do nothing, right? So just be proud of anything more than zero, because it's so, so easy to choose to do nothing. Okay. So yeah, just claim a victory. It might be a small one. It might not be your normal size victory, but yeah, it's a small victory. It's still a victory. I'll take that any day over a loss or a neutral nothing. All right. So you'll get back to the glory days. All right. Take it easy. And then yeah, listen to the body is another one that I'll make sure I throw out there. And yeah, you'll be just fine. Just give it some time.
Yeah, I recently read like a little quote that was like, if all you have is 70% today, but you gave 70% today, you actually gave 100%, right?
There you go.
And I also like that percentage statistic that says be 1% better every day, right? Like it doesn't say be 100% better every day. It says be 1% better every day.
Yep.
After 100 days, you're going to be 100% better, right? So it's just a matter of that, like it's a mental check for yourself.
Yeah. Right. And that whole thing always comes back to, right, like think outside the box. Remember how many puzzle pieces there are that we're dealing with. That 1% might not come out from your workouts that day. Maybe it's the outside time you got and the breathing exercises you did, or yeah, maybe just giving your body that rest time is the 1% recovery you need in order to get back to your normal routine in a day or two. You know, it's all relative,
the kindness
right?
with yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely. All righty. Well, I'm getting our 10-minute reminder, so we're going to start wrapping it up. But I think that yeah, we've pretty much well covered our top 5 today. Bottom line is, yeah, just don't be hard on yourself. Do what you can. Take advantage of every opportunity, whatever that might mean, and then you'll get back to full strength ASAP. And like we talked about, of course, if you need help, hey, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you. That's why we keep doing episodes. All right. So our quick little promo at the end, because, well, this is, 2022, and so we have to have a promo at the end. Bottom line is, we announced last week that I've launched a Patreon page, which I'm very excited about because I now have 3 new tiers of membership levels, all of which are under $100, so very much affordable. The first tier, if you're looking to support this channel, see some cool articles in the near future, and basically just be a producer level supporter, it's going to be less than $10 a month. All right. So like we were talking about before,
as much as your Twitter account, right?
Yeah. Instead of getting a dumb blue check that doesn't mean anything, you instead can support 2 people that you literally get to see on a regular basis, and we'll talk to you and all that good stuff, right? For 40 a month, all right, we're doing full app access. You get everything that comes with it, including all of my custom exercises and video demonstrations and written cues and everything of that nature. You can build your workouts in it. You can track your personal bests. It'll tell you when you earn badges and all this kind of fun stuff. So $40 will get you full app access. Coach talked about it last time. It is a good time. It is a extra motivation, another tool in the toolbox that I think can very much help you out. Coach, you would agree?
Oh yeah, I love the habit tracking portion of it. That really was a game changer for me.
There's a big one, right? Yeah, just a whole bunch of fun features you wouldn't just assume are going to be in your workout tracking app. So that is your next option. And of course, hey, you need some direct contact with me. You need to talk through some ideas and what you're going through, or maybe you want me to check your form on a video call. We can do that once a month. And in addition to the app, you'll be paying $80 a month for that one. So what I mean by that is you will get the app for that $80 plus the time with me.
Right. You get all the tiers leading up to that one.
Exactly. Or it's building up here. We're going that direction, right? It's building upwards. But anyway, down in the description of this video, there is a link to the Patreon page. It's patreon.com/CSFC. for Coach Lobo Fitness Consulting. All right, and you can go ahead and sign up there and become
So
literally
exciting.
part of the team. So I very much hope that you choose to do that. It would very much help me out and very much help the growth of not only this channel, but yeah, our respective businesses and so on.
Yeah.
All righty. And last but not least, oh my God, there's one more promo. That's super crazy. What could he possibly be talking about? All right, we're going to go ahead and put on our, here, I have my red, white, and blue here. I have brought up the fact that I am a proud Eagle Scout. So we're going to put our American colors for a second and remind you to go vote this Tuesday or to do so before then. All right.
Right now. Yep.
Democracy is pretty awesome. All right. I'm a fan of history. I like learning about some of the crazy shenanigans humans have been through in all of the eras of our existence. And this American democracy thing, it's pretty swell. All right. And I don't know if you pay attention to the news, but there's some talk that this democracy might be in trouble. And if people don't vote and show that they care to keep it, we might lose it. And that's like super scary and intimidating. So I know that I will be voting with a lot of loved ones in mind. All right. I jokingly yet seriously say I am a white heterosexual male. My rights are going to be just fine in this country. But the bottom line is there are going to be other people who don't have those privileges available to them unless we literally make our voices heard. So I'm just saying, go out, make sure you have a plan of action, just like your workout calendar. All right. Hey, you want to get a workout done on Tuesday? You're going to add to your calendar. You're going to make sure you block off some time. You're going to know where you're going for that workout, right? Let's do the same thing for this election. I think that'd be a super great idea. That's just my cup of tea. And I felt like I would be remiss to not mention it today. Just to do your civil duty, if you will, and get out there and get it done.
We don't really care which way you do vote. We just want you to vote.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this democracy thing. If you get to have your voice heard, you get a choice. That's a win that a lot of people across the world and through history haven't gotten to experience. So take advantage.
Yep. Flex that muscle and vote.
America.
America.
All righty.
USA.
Cool. Let's get out of
USA.
here. I know people got other stuff to do. I know we got other stuff to do. So we're going to call it the end of the day. But again, thank you to everyone who tunes in. Thank you for your support of this channel and just simply helping that view count go up. Hopefully you learn something, can take something away from these episodes, especially if for whatever reason your household comes down with an illness in the near future. Well, now you got some strategies for those off days.
Yes, my closing remark was going to be stay healthy out there. Okay, guys?
Do the best you can. It's not a 100% winning game, but yes, take good care of yourself. Give yourself the best opportunity for success. And hey, if you get knocked down, well, guess what? We got a full episode talking about what you can do about it. So all good. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you to Coach Natalie for being an awesome co-host as usual.
Thank you, Rob.
And we will be seeing you in a couple more weeks.
Have a great rest of your week, guys. Bye-bye.
Until then, see ya.